Have you ever felt it? A prickling on the back of your neck, a sudden certainty blooming in your chest, a knowing before the mind even engages its convoluted logic. The universe doesn't shout, it whispers, a language felt rather than heard, a premonition that skirts the edges of consciousness, like a dream half remembered at dawn. Most dismiss these subtle nudges, these fleeting premonitions, as whims or fancy, foolish emotions to be sternly corrected by reason's cold, hard gaze. But what if those whispers, so easily silenced, are not random at all? What if they are, in fact, the faint but distinct voice of the quantum field itself, the very blueprint of a reality yet to be fully formed, a reality you are actively, albeit unconsciously, participating in creating? We are conditioned, relentlessly, to believe in a linear existence, a predictable chain of cause and effect, where meticulous planning and exhaustive analysis pave the road to desired outcomes. We dissect options, weigh probabilities, and construct elaborate strategies, all predicated on the illusion of control. But quantum mechanics, that unsettling but undeniable science, laughs in the face of such neat determinism. Experiments, baffling and profound, have demonstrated the transmission of information before an event occurs, as if consciousness itself transcends the rigid confines of linear time, flowing freely between past, present, and future, a river without banks. Researchers, like the intrepid Dean Radin, have dedicated themselves to exploring this very phenomenon, bestowing upon it the evocative term presentiment, the body's uncanny capacity to register future events before they manifest in the present. Your nervous system, that intricate network of electrochemical signals, your heart, that rhythmic drumbeat of life, your very gut, that often ignored source of visceral wisdom, all register subtle shifts in the quantum field long before your conscious mind can assemble a coherent narrative. That quiet, persistent inner voice, the one you so often suppress or dismiss, is not your imagination running wild. It is a preview, a trailer of your unfolding future, an invitation to co-create with the universe itself. Imagine tuning a radio. Initially, a cacophony of static assaults your ears, a chaotic jumble of noise. Then, faint fragments of a song emerge, tantalizingly brief and indistinct. Finally, as you fine-tune the dial, the music bursts forth in crystal clarity, filling the air with resonant harmony. Intuition is precisely that, static resolving into signal, noise coalescing into clarity. It is your awareness, however fleeting, catching glimpses of the specific frequency you are about to draw into existence, the reality you are about to consciously or unconsciously embrace. The tragedy, of course, is that most people are rigorously trained to distrust the static, to override it with logic, to drown it in analysis, to demand incontrovertible proof before daring to act. The quantum field, however, does not traffic in the currency of proof. It speaks instead in the language of resonance, a feeling first, a thought second, if at all. Intuition, therefore, feels inherently gentle, almost insubstantial, easily dismissed, easily ignored. It doesn't clamor for attention, it whispers. It doesn't argue or demand, it gently nudges, it subtly invites. It doesn't overwhelm with the sheer weight of information, it offers a delicate suggestion, a fleeting glimpse of a possible future. Yet, when you pause to reflect on the truly pivotal decisions of your life, the moments that irrevocably altered your trajectory, the chances are overwhelmingly high that your first instinct, that initial gut reaction, was unerringly correct. That flicker of awareness, that primal knowing, was guiding you, patiently and persistently, long before your conscious reasoning could construct a logical explanation. The bitter irony is that most people only acknowledge and validate their intuition in hindsight. "I knew it," they lament. "I should have listened." But by then, of course, the signal has already been unequivocally proven by the unfolding of events. The opportunity missed, the path not taken. What if, instead, you cultivated the courage to trust that signal from the outset, to embrace the whisper before demanding external validation, to act on your intuition with unwavering conviction. Quantum manifestation begins not with a deliberate act of will, not with the formulation of a meticulously crafted plan, but with awareness, with the recognition of a subtle energetic shift, a fleeting glimpse of possibility, before the conscious mind even registers the potential choice. There exists a liminal space, a fleeting microsecond, where the quantum field reveals a nascent path, an unwritten chapter of your life, a reality waiting to be born. It is akin to standing at the precipice of two distinct timelines, each representing a radically different future, each calling to you with varying degrees of intensity. You catch a fleeting glimpse of the timeline that resonates most deeply with your authentic self, the one that ignites your passion, aligns with your values, and fulfills your highest potential. If you dismiss that flicker, if you succumb to fear or doubt, you are irrevocably pulled back into the gravitational pull of your old familiar reality. But if, with courage and conviction, you choose to trust that nascent signal, you step boldly into the uncharted territory of the new, a reality that is already forming around you, a reality you are actively co-creating with every thought, every feeling, every action. This is the hidden mechanism underlying synchronicity, those seemingly miraculous coincidences that defy logical explanation. They are not mere accidents. They are signposts from the quantum field, markers indicating that the energetic collapse of a new reality is already in motion, guided by your intention and amplified by your unwavering belief. Herein lies the paradox. Intuition, in its inherent simplicity, feels too easy to be trusted. Your mind, accustomed to complexity and analysis, protests vehemently. It can't be this simple. I need data. I need guarantees. I need a meticulously crafted plan, complete with contingencies. But the universe does not operate on the principle of guarantees. It operates on the principle of alignment. Complexity is the domain of the mind. Simplicity is the language of the quantum field. And intuition is simplicity incarnate. One signal, one nudge, one quiet inner voice. Follow it, and you are in perfect resonance with the unfolding of your destiny. Ignore it, and you are perpetually out of sync, struggling against the natural flow of the universe. This is why so many individuals struggle, seemingly endlessly, with the art of manifestation. They believe that it requires elaborate rituals, countless hours of visualization, and repetitive, often uninspired affirmations. They overlook the fundamental truth that the first step, the critical alignment, always arrives as a whisper, a subtle nudge, a fleeting intuitive flash. That whisper is the alignment. It is the doorway to a new reality. When you cultivate the capacity to hear it, to trust it implicitly, and to act upon it without hesitation or second guessing, you collapse into new realities with a speed and efficiency that logic can scarcely comprehend. Logic, after all, is always late to the party, scrambling to catch up with the energetic shifts that have already reshaped the very fabric of your existence. By the time your conscious mind finally understands what has transpired, your energy, guided by your intuition, has already profoundly altered the quantum field, setting in motion a cascade of events that will forever transform your life. The fundamental question, therefore, is not whether the quantum field is speaking to you. It always is.
The crucial question is this: are you listening? That fleeting flicker of awareness you experienced this week? That persistent gut feeling you stubbornly ignored? That sudden inner yes or no you hastily brushed aside? That was the quantum field signaling you, presenting you with a preview of a reality already awaiting your conscious embrace. The more diligently you cultivate awareness, the more intently you listen, the louder that voice becomes, until eventually your entire life transforms into a symphony of synchronicities, a harmonious unfolding of events, guided by intuition and free from the tyranny of struggle, confusion, and fear. This is where your journey truly begins. Stay with me, because in the following chapters, I will unveil the compelling scientific evidence that definitively proves that your intuition is not mere imagination. It is, in fact, your very own quantum compass, guiding you unerringly towards your highest destiny. For centuries, intuition languished in the shadows of scientific skepticism, dismissed as a vestige of superstition, a flimsy and unreliable guide, or even a dangerous indulgence to be suppressed by the iron grip of reason. But now, the tide is turning. Science, in its relentless pursuit of truth, is finally beginning to catch up with what mystics, shamans, and spiritual teachers have intuitively understood for millennia. The human body possesses an extraordinary capacity to sense the future before the conscious mind can even begin to process the unfolding events. This is not simply a philosophical musing or a New Age platitude. It is a convergence of physics, biology, and neuroscience, all revealing the hidden layers of reality that lie just beneath the surface of our everyday perception. Let's begin with the groundbreaking work of Dean Radin, a highly respected researcher at the Institute of Noetic Sciences. Radin's rigorous studies on presentiment, the body's remarkable ability to react physiologically to stimuli before they even occur, are nothing short of revolutionary. In these meticulously designed experiments, participants were exposed to a series of images, some designed to be calming and soothing, others deliberately chosen to be disturbing and unsettling. What Radin and his team discovered was astonishing. Before the disturbing image even appeared on the screen, the participants' nervous systems exhibited a pronounced spike in activity. Their heart rates increased, their sweat glands activated, and their brain waves shifted into a heightened state of alert. The body, it seemed, literally anticipated the future, registering the impending threat a few crucial seconds in advance. The statistical significance of these results was impossible to ignore. Clearly, something beyond the constraints of linear time was at play. Radin concluded with scientific precision that consciousness is not limited to the present, it reaches into the future. This statement, so simple yet so profound, has the potential to fundamentally alter our understanding of the nature of reality itself. Now, let us turn our attention to the compelling research emanating from the HeartMath Institute, where scientists like Roland McCratty have demonstrated that the heart, far from being simply a biological pump responsible for circulating blood, is, in fact, a powerful and sophisticated intuitive organ, capable of processing information and anticipating future events in ways that defy conventional understanding. In one particularly illuminating study, participants were again subjected to future stimuli. Their physiological responses were carefully monitored and analyzed. What shocked the researchers was that the heart responded before the brain did. The heart, it seemed, sensed the impending event, then transmitted signals to the brain and the rest of the body, initiating a cascade of physiological responses. This finding completely upends the traditional model, which posits the brain as the sole command center of the body. It suggests that we are not simply thinking with our heads, but with our entire energetic field. Your heart, therefore, is far more than just a biological pump. It is an electromagnetic transmitter and receiver, constantly broadcasting signals into the quantum field and simultaneously receiving information from that vast, interconnected web of energy and consciousness. This brings us to the crucial work of Dr. Joe Dispenza. In his groundbreaking book, Becoming Supernatural, Dispenza meticulously describes how aligning the brain and the heart into a state of coherence creates a measurable and powerful electromagnetic signature, a field of energy that radiates outwards, influencing the very fabric of reality. When your thoughts, your emotions, and your physical body are synchronized and aligned, you are not simply experiencing a state of calm and well-being. You are literally tuning in to a specific frequency, a vibrational resonance that has the power to reorganize matter itself. Dispenza's workshops have repeatedly demonstrated the profound effects of entering this state of heart-brain coherence. Participants have experienced spontaneous healings, profound synchronicities, and radical shifts in perception that defy conventional explanation. What Dispenza is proving with scientific rigor and empirical data is both simple and revolutionary. Your state of being is the very signal that collapses your future reality from the infinite possibilities of the quantum field into the tangible realm of experience. Quantum physics provides the theoretical framework for understanding this extraordinary phenomenon. The famous double-slit experiment, which has baffled and intrigued physicists for decades, demonstrates that particles behave differently when they are observed. The very act of observation, of conscious awareness, appears to influence the outcome of the experiment. But what is often overlooked is that this shift occurs not when you logically decide to observe, but in the very moment that your awareness aligns with a specific possibility, a specific potential reality. Intuition, therefore, is that pre-observation, that subtle energetic shift that collapses the probability wave into a single defined reality. In other words, your intuition doesn't simply predict your future. It actively creates it by influencing the quantum field in subtle but profound ways. This explains why spiritual traditions from across the globe have consistently revered intuition as a sacred faculty, a direct link to divine wisdom. Indigenous cultures spoke of the importance of listening to the small voice within. Mystics, like the enigmatic Neville Goddard, taught that assumption creates reality, that the first inner feeling is the truest expression of truth. Even Albert Einstein, the quintessential man of science, famously declared that the intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. Einstein, with his unparalleled scientific intuition, understood what modern physics would eventually prove. Intuition is not a mere flight of fancy. It is a vital function, a fundamental aspect of the very physics of reality. Herein lies the great paradox of our modern culture. We have been rigorously trained to distrust intuition, to label it as irrational, unscientific, and unreliable. We demand evidence, we crave proof, we cling to the illusion of certainty. Yet, science itself is now beginning to validate what intuition has whispered all along. The quantum field does not wait for your rational mind to make a conscious decision. It moves at the speed of resonance, responding instantaneously to your energetic state.
Your intuition is simply the first responder, the part of you that already knows where the energy is flowing, what possibilities are aligning, and what future realities are waiting to be born. Imagine, for a moment, that every time you ignore your intuition, you are literally stepping out of alignment with the very timeline you most deeply desire. That every time you override that initial gut feeling, you are subtly but powerfully signaling to the quantum field, "I don't trust the signal. I don't believe in my own inner wisdom." And the field, being inherently responsive, responds in kind, giving you experiences that match your doubt and uncertainty rather than your clarity and conviction. But when you honor that subtle nudge, when you wholeheartedly embrace that initial whisper before logic has a chance to intervene, you are sending a powerful signal to the quantum field. I trust, I am aligned, I am open to the unfolding of my highest destiny. And that single act of trust, that unwavering commitment to your own inner knowing, has the power to collapse a new reality into being. A reality that is aligned with your soul's purpose and overflowing with joy, abundance, and fulfillment. This is why simplicity is so paramount. Intuition does not arrive cloaked in complexity. It does not manifest as a spreadsheet or a five-step plan. It comes as a flicker, a pull, a knowing. Subtle, yes, but powerful nonetheless. It is subtle precisely because it bypasses the cacophony of the mind, slipping beneath the radar of your conscious analysis. And when you cultivate the ability to recognize and honor its unique frequency, you begin to live in harmonious alignment with the deepest intelligence of the universe. Not forcing, not chasing, but simply attuning yourself to the inherent flow of creation. And here is the most crucial point to remember. You do not need to develop intuition. You already possess it. What you need to do is unlearn the deeply ingrained habit of ignoring it. The whispers have always been there. The quantum field has always been communicating with you. The only question is, are you quiet enough to listen? Stay with me, because in the next chapter, we will delve into the intricate workings of your nervous system and how it acts as the antenna, receiving and decoding these subtle quantum signals. Learning to regulate and attune this vital system will allow you to finally stop missing the whispers and begin living in a state of conscious alignment with the unfolding of your highest destiny. If your intuition serves as the signal, the voice of the quantum field gently guiding you towards your highest potential, then your nervous system functions as the antenna, the intricate and sensitive receiver that decodes, translates, and embodies the subtle frequencies emanating from the vast, interconnected web of reality. The most profound and fascinating discovery of recent scientific research is this: your nervous system is not simply reacting to reality. It is actively shaping it, influencing the very fabric of your experience through the energetic signals it broadcasts into the quantum field. Consider this for a moment. Your nervous system is the master regulator, orchestrating every vital function within your body, from the rhythmic beating of your heart to the steady flow of your breath, the delicate balance of your hormones to the robust defenses of your immune response. It is the bridge that connects mind and body, the conduit through which thoughts become feelings and feelings become actions. But, even more significantly, it serves as the interface between your inner world, your subjective experience, and the vast, objective realm of the quantum field. When your nervous system is dysregulated, stressed, and chaotic, when it is stuck in a perpetual state of fight or flight, constantly scanning for threats and bracing for impact, it sends incoherent and fragmented signals into the quantum field. And as Dr. Joe Dispenza's extensive research has repeatedly demonstrated, this state of incoherence creates fragmentation and instability in your manifested reality. You think one thing, feel another, and your body reacts as if under constant threat, sabotaging your efforts and blocking the flow of abundance. This state of survival, of perpetual stress and anxiety, literally prevents you from accessing the higher frequencies of intuition and inspiration, trapping you in a cycle of limitation and fear. Now, here is where the profound quantum connection becomes undeniably clear. The HeartMath Institute has discovered that your heart's electromagnetic field, generated by the rhythmic pulsing of its cells, is a staggering 60 times stronger than the electromagnetic field generated by your brain. This powerful field extends several feet around your body, radiating outwards like an invisible aura. And its characteristics shift dramatically, depending on whether your nervous system is in a state of stress and incoherence or calm and coherence. When you are calm, open, and regulated, when your heart and brain are aligned and synchronized, your heart field becomes ordered and expansive, emanating a powerful frequency that not only stabilizes and harmonizes your own body, but also subtly influences the nervous systems and energetic fields of those around you. In other words, your nervous system does not simply receive reality, it actively broadcasts it, influencing the very fabric of the quantum field through the energetic signals it transmits. Quantum physics offers us the compelling metaphor of entanglement to understand this phenomenon. When two particles become entangled, their fates become inextricably linked. What happens to one instantly affects the other, regardless of the distance separating them. This is not simply a theoretical construct. It has been proven in countless experiments, demonstrating the interconnectedness of all things at the subatomic level. Now, imagine your nervous system as one half of that entangled pair, and the quantum field as the other, instantaneously connected, constantly influencing each other through the subtle exchange of energy and information. The moment you shift your internal state from chaos to coherence, from fear to presence, from anxiety to gratitude, the quantum field shifts with you, mirroring your internal transformation in the external world. Your inner regulation is reflected by outer synchronicities, serendipitous events that align perfectly with your intentions and accelerate you towards your desired outcome. This explains why miracles often follow deep meditative states. The nervous system enters a state of profound balance, the energetic broadcast shifts, and the quantum field reorganizes itself to match the new coherent signal. Neuroscience provides further support for this connection through the concept of neuroplasticity, the brain's remarkable ability to rewire itself based on repeated patterns of thought, feeling, and behavior. When you consistently live in a state of chronic stress, your brain literally carves neural pathways that expect danger, that anticipate threat at every turn. That ingrained expectation becomes the lens through which you perceive and collapse reality, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of limitation and fear. But when you consciously train your nervous system to remain open, safe, and regulated through the practice of conscious breathing, meditation, intentional stillness, and heart-centered awareness, your brain begins to rewire itself towards possibility, towards the expectation of good things.
And because expectation is a form of energetic resonance, good things inevitably begin to happen. Doors open, opportunities arise, and synchronicities abound.
This is why ancient spiritual practices have always emphasized the importance of the body as a sacred temple. Yogis spoke of pranayama, the deliberate control of breath, not simply as a physical exercise, but as a powerful technique for achieving energetic mastery. Mystics in every tradition employed stillness, chanting, and ritual to regulate their nervous systems and cultivate inner peace. They intuitively understood that a chaotic and dysregulated body cannot house a coherent and luminous spirit. Modern science is now translating this ancient wisdom into quantifiable data. Measuring the vagal tone, heart rate variability, and gamma brainwaves of individuals engaged in these practices and demonstrating the profound impact of nervous system regulation on overall health, well-being, and the capacity to access higher states of consciousness. All of this points to the same fundamental truth. When your nervous system is balanced and regulated, you become a clear and receptive antenna for the quantum field, effortlessly receiving intuitive guidance, manifesting your intentions with grace and ease, and living in harmonious alignment with the unfolding of your destiny. But here is the inherent paradox. Most people are so accustomed to living in a state of chronic dysregulation that they don't even notice it anymore. They have come to believe that constant stress is normal, that rushing, multitasking, and overthinking are simply unavoidable aspects of modern life. Yet, it is this very state of chronic nervous system activation that blocks their ability to access their intuition and manifest their desires. They are broadcasting static instead of a clear, coherent signal, creating interference and chaos in their lives. Imagine trying to tune into a radio station while someone is constantly changing the dial. You might catch fleeting fragments of the song you want to hear, but the signal is constantly disrupted by noise and interference. That is precisely what happens when your nervous system is stuck in survival mode. You never get a clear broadcast. You never lock on to the specific frequency of your desired reality. The good news is that your nervous system is inherently designed to reset itself, to return to a state of balance and regulation. Every time you take a slow, conscious breath, you are sending a powerful signal to your body that it is safe, activating the parasympathetic nervous system and calming the stress response. Every time you place your hand on your heart and shift your attention from your racing thoughts to your embodied feelings, you are signaling coherence to your system, synchronizing your heart and brain, and creating a powerful electromagnetic field that radiates outwards, influencing the quantum field in profound ways. And the moment your body feels safe, your intuition becomes louder and clearer. You stop mistaking fear for guidance, and you begin to sense the subtle pulls of the quantum field, gently guiding you towards your highest potential. This is not an abstract concept. Numerous studies have demonstrated that even a few minutes of heart-focused breathing can increase coherence, strengthen intuition, improve decision-making, and enhance overall well-being. Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations are filled with powerful techniques for regulating the body into a state of coherence, allowing the mind to project a clear and focused signal into the quantum field. Your nervous system, therefore, is the gatekeeper to your intuition, the bridge between your inner world and the vast interconnected web of reality. When it is scattered, stressed, and dysregulated, manifestation feels like a struggle, a constant uphill battle against unseen forces. When it is calm, balanced, and regulated, manifestation flows effortlessly, guided by intuition and powered by the inherent intelligence of the universe. So, the next time you notice your nervous system firing on all cylinders, your heart racing, your breath shallow, your thoughts spiraling out of control, remember that this is not simply stress. It is a misalignment with the quantum field, an indication that you are broadcasting static instead of a clear, coherent signal. And in that very moment, you possess the power to reset the antenna, to consciously shift your state and realign yourself with the unfolding of your destiny. Slow down, breathe deeply, feel the sensations in your body, and consciously choose to focus on gratitude, compassion, and joy.
Because the quantum field is listening, not to your words, but to your state of being, responding not to your desires, but to the frequency you are consistently broadcasting. Stay with me, because in the next chapter, we will explore the extraordinary phenomenon of synchronicities, those magical alignments that feel too perfect to be coincidences. Understanding that they are, in fact, feedback from the quantum field, demonstrating how well your antenna is tuned and offering you the encouragement and guidance you need to continue aligning with your highest potential. Have you ever noticed how, when you are in a state of effortless flow, completely immersed in the present moment, life begins to respond in ways that feel almost impossibly orchestrated, as if the universe itself is conspiring to support your journey? You think of someone and they suddenly call you. You imagine a solution to a seemingly intractable problem, and the perfect book containing the very answers you seek inexplicably falls into your hands. You set a clear intention, and within a matter of days, the perfect opportunity to manifest that intention arrives in the most unexpected and serendipitous way. These are synchronicities, those extraordinary moments when the universe seems to whisper back to you, gently confirming that you are on the right path, that you are in perfect alignment with the unfolding of your destiny. But here is the crucial truth that most people overlook. Synchronicities are not random events. They are feedback loops, powerful reflections of the clarity and coherence of your energetic signal, rippling outwards from your inner world and manifesting as tangible events in your lived reality. They are the quantum field reflecting the specific frequency you are broadcasting, confirming that you are in harmonious resonance with the inherent intelligence of the universe. Carl Jung was one of the first to popularize the concept of synchronicity, coining the term meaningful coincidence to describe these seemingly explicable events. But modern quantum research provides us with an even deeper and more nuanced understanding of this extraordinary phenomenon. In the same way that particles respond to observation in the double-slit experiment, your reality responds to your level of coherence. The more aligned you are with your authentic self, the more harmonious your thoughts, feelings, and actions, the more effortlessly your desires manifest. When your nervous system is balanced and regulated, when your heart and brain are aligned and synchronized, your electromagnetic field becomes ordered, stable, and expansive, radiating outwards and influencing the quantum field in profound ways. And what happens to ordered systems in the realm of physics? They resonate with other ordered systems. They attract and align with similar frequencies, creating a powerful feedback loop that amplifies the initial signal. This is why, when you consistently maintain a state of inner coherence, you begin to effortlessly click into timelines where everything feels orchestrated, where challenges dissolve into opportunities, and where your dreams manifest with astonishing speed and precision. It is not simply luck, it is the inevitable result of energetic resonance, of aligning yourself with the natural flow of the universe and allowing its inherent intelligence to guide your journey.
Think of it as tuning a radio. If your dial is slightly off, if you are not precisely aligned with the frequency of the station you are trying to receive, the sound will be distorted, full of static and interference. You might catch fleeting fragments of the song you want to hear, but it will never come through clearly, never fully resonate with your being. That is how most people live their lives, slightly off frequency, manifesting fragmented and inconsistent results, constantly struggling against unseen forces and wondering why their desires seem to elude their grasp. But when you finally fine-tune your dial, when you precisely align with the frequency of your desired reality, the song bursts forth in crystal clarity, vibrant, undeniable, and deeply resonant. That is synchronicity, the quantum field revealing to you in no uncertain terms that you are perfectly tuned in to the unfolding of your destiny. Each coincidence is not merely random, it is an echo, a mirror, a signal of alignment, a gentle confirmation from the universe that you are on the right path. Dr. Joe Dispenza often describes synchronicities as signs that you are becoming supernatural, not because you are doing something outside of the natural laws of the universe, but because you are finally operating in harmonious alignment with those laws, understanding the fundamental principles of quantum manifestation and applying them consciously in your daily life. In his workshops, countless participants report that once they learn to regulate their nervous systems into a state of coherence and focus, their intention on the vision of their future selves, synchronicities begin to explode in their lives. They see repeating numbers everywhere they look. They encounter people who unexpectedly shift their entire trajectory. They find themselves in the right place at the right time over and over again. This is the quantum field organizing itself to match the energetic order you have created within, reflecting your inner state in the external world. But there is an even deeper layer to synchronicity that many people overlook. Synchronicities are not just signs that you are on the right path. They are also invitations to trust more deeply, to surrender to the inherent intelligence of the universe, and to release your grip on control. Because here is what often happens when the first synchronicities begin to appear. Most people experience a moment of amazement and wonder, but then their rational mind jumps in, attempting to explain away the seemingly miraculous events. Maybe it's just a coincidence, they rationalize. Maybe I'm just imagining things. That very doubt, that subtle shift in belief, pulls them out of resonance. The quantum field reflects not just your clarity and conviction, but also your hesitation and uncertainty. This is why synchronicities sometimes seem to vanish after a while. It is not that the universe has stopped responding, but rather that your nervous system has subtly shifted back into a state of incoherence, disrupting the signal and creating interference in the feedback loop. So, how do you keep the synchronicities flowing? How do you cultivate a life that is constantly orchestrated by the inherent intelligence of the universe? The key is to treat synchronicities not as random occurrences, but as direct communication from the quantum field, as invitations to trust, to surrender, and to align yourself even more deeply with your soul's purpose. Imagine that you are learning a new language, and suddenly someone begins speaking it back to you, fluently and effortlessly. That is precisely what is happening with synchronicity. The quantum field is mirroring your inner state, responding to your intentions and offering you guidance and encouragement along your path. Each synchronicity is a word, a phrase, a sentence in the ongoing dialogue between you and the quantum field. The more attention you pay, the more fluent you become in this language of resonance. Ignore it, and the conversation fades. Honor it, and the conversation deepens, revealing ever greater levels of insight and understanding. Here is a powerful exercise you can try for 1 week to amplify the synchronicities in your life. Keep a synchronicity journal. Every time something happens that feels like more than just a coincidence, write it down in detail. It could be a chance encounter, a repeating number, a dream that manifests in waking life, a sudden insight that unlocks a long-standing problem. At the end of the week, look back over your journal and analyze the patterns. You will likely notice that the synchronicities are not random at all. They tend to cluster around moments when you felt most aligned, most open, most in trust, most connected to your authentic self. This simple act of reflection, of consciously acknowledging the synchronicities in your life, trains your nervous system to expect coherence, to anticipate the unfolding of your desired reality. And, as we have already seen, expectation is a powerful form of energetic resonance, influencing the quantum field in subtle but profound ways. Quantum physics supports this idea through the concept of feedback systems. In nonlinear dynamics, small changes in one part of a system can create large and unexpected effects in other parts. This is often referred to as the butterfly effect. Your internal coherence, your alignment with your authentic self, is a small but powerful change that ripples outwards into the quantum field, creating external alignments and synchronicities that may appear to be far beyond your control. But when you consciously track those ripples, when you analyze the patterns and connections in your life, you begin to realize that they are not random at all. They are patterns, spirals, and fractals of meaning, reflecting the inherent order and intelligence of the universe. Synchronicity, therefore, is how the universe shows you the geometry of your alignment, the elegant and intricate patterns that connect your inner world with the outer world, revealing the harmonious unfolding of your destiny. And here is the most crucial part to remember. Synchronicities are never ultimately about the event itself. Seeing the number 1111 on a clock is not inherently magical.
Meeting someone unexpectedly is not the miracle. The real miracle lies in the reflection that the synchronicity provides, the tangible proof that your vibration is interacting with the fabric of reality in real time, that your intentions are being heard and responded to by the inherent intelligence of the universe. The moment you consciously recognize this, you stop chasing synchronicities as mere signs, and you begin to use them as invaluable feedback. Each alignment becomes an invitation to anchor even deeply into trust, more deeply into coherence, and more deeply into the version of yourself that already exists in the quantum field, fully realized and overflowing with abundance. So, the next time synchronicities flood your life, don't just smile and move on. Pause, breathe deeply, acknowledge the signal, and consciously affirm to yourself, I am tuned in, I am aligned, I am on the right path. Because the more consistently you acknowledge the signal, the stronger it becomes, and the more powerfully your reality will be shaped by the intelligence and abundance of the quantum field. Take a deep breath right now and declare with unwavering conviction, I am the signal, and allow that statement to anchor itself deeply within your heart, radiating outwards into every cell of your being.
Stay with me, because in the next and final section, we will explore what happens when synchronicities seemingly stop, when the universe appears to fall silent. Most people panic, thinking they have lost the magic. But in truth, that pause, that apparent absence of synchronicities, is one of the most powerful and transformative moments in the entire process, a hidden doorway into the next quantum leap of your evolution, a powerful invitation to trust more deeply than ever before.